What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason and Joe here. It's another episode of Album of the Week. This is where we review records submitted to us by our patrons. And this week we are reviewing the record Into Your Ears by Pete Dello and Friends. I had never heard of this before, never seen it before. People said Pete Dello is best known for the band Honeybus. He was a member of that band. Never heard of Honeybus either. So apparently they had a hit called I Can't Let Maggie Go, which I'm also not familiar with. So it was described as like kind of whimsical Baroque pop kind of thing, and that's in my wheelhouse. So I was excited to hear it. It's from 1971. Seems like you were in the same boat as me, having no clue what this was.
Yeah, no idea. Zero recognition of any of the things that you said in that intro. Must be a British thing because no real clue what to expect going into it. People made me a little afraid in the Discord with what they were talking about. And I don't know, do you want me to go first with this or
Sure,
you
you can
want
go first. Yeah.
I did not like this. I didn't like it much at all. It did not hit on anything that I like as far as lyrical content. This is like the classic definition of like English twee. Like this is twee. And some of the Baroque backing is fine, but it's like 4, maybe 5 years too late on all of that. And it just did not do it for me. I don't really like his voice. It's sort of like a buffoonish Ringo Starr, like sub Ringo Starr level type of singing. Like I said, the music itself is pretty decent. I think it's a good approximation of like Baroque pop. It's out of place for 71. It's definitely, 3, 4 years out of place there, but I don't mind, what was going on with the instrumentation. A little too, I don't know, cheeky at times. I think it starts off pretty decent with It's What You've Got. But then, like, that's one of the high points for me because it gets like spine liquefyingly twee after that. There is nothing that I can do for you. Really hate the lyrics, just word salad, kind of annoying. Reminded me of like the indie pop stuff, Flaming Lips, that I really don't care for. Just sort of like nauseating. Some of it is cute, but also a little horrifying. Harry the Earwig, kind of disgusting and odd. It's a little unsettling, so it reminds me somewhat of David Bowie's debut, where it's like whimsically creepy, a little cutesy, but like there's this like something wrong and bad going on at the same time. You can't quite put your finger on, but it's definitely there. Yeah, Harry the Earwig did not do it for me. I mean, when Peter Dello and his friends get just kind of normal, I like it. Do I still figure in your life? I think is nice. The serious kind of straightforward tracks, taking the heart out of love, I think is pretty good. On a Time Said Sylvie is pretty nice. But the novelty stuff, Uptight Basil sounds like a Jettisoned Kings track. There's this Alvin and the Chipmunk vocal solo section, which is just horrific, totally not needed. A good song reminds me of sort of like a B grade version of something off of Lola. And, the vocals are stilted, the lyrics are clunky, the music is a little forced. And anytime they try to do something clever or, out of left field, a little off base, it just comes off awkward and kind of twee and bad to me. When they do regular songs, I think they're nice, but in 1971 in Baroque pop, I think the sound's a little played out, and I don't think they do it better than any of the people who came before many years prior. So I don't know. I mean, it's 1971, so it's not like bad is a relative statement. I just don't see this as a lost classic or anything like that. It's just kind of an album out of place, out of time in 1971. So it's like a 3 star, low 3 star kind of not something I'm going to think about or go back to ever again.
Interesting. I guess I can kind of see that coming from you. I didn't really think about what you were gonna give this. Yeah, I agree that it feels totally out of place in 1971. It's very 60s, 66, 67 is probably where I'd put it. Very ornate Baroque pop, like you said, very whimsical, very twee. I like that though. I like kind of light pop of that era, especially. There's some silly stuff here, some almost like childlike songs like Harry the Earwig, which the album cover is based on that song. But I dig that song. I think it's got a cool arrangement and it's tuneful and it's catchy. Everything's pretty kind of like light and bouncy and catchy. I didn't think anything felt forced really. So I would say I disagree with that part of your assessment. If there's a weakness, it is his singing voice, which it never bothered me. I wouldn't say I don't like his voice, but it's not exceptional. I think if you had like a truly great voice singing this material, it could probably elevate it a little further, like a Colin Blunstone or a Harry Nilsson or someone like that. I think could take this material a little further than he does, but still not bad. Do I Still Figure in Your Life? I think is great. Really nice tune, beautiful strings on that. I like this type of music, so it's pretty easy listening for me, a very light affair. I do agree with you that it's not quite up to the level of other things in this same vein. You know, it's not the Beatles, it's not the Kinks, it's not the Zombies. I wouldn't even put it on the same level as like Emmett Rhodes or some of those other like slightly lesser known artists that were kind of doing a Beatlesy, Kinksy thing. But at the same time, there's not really any songs on this record that I don't like. I enjoyed every single one of them. So yeah, I'm at like a light 4 stars on it. I thought it was really just easy listen. I liked it. I probably will go back to it. It's not going to be like a staple of my listening from now on, I don't think. But yeah, I don't really get what's so wrong with it.
It's nothing wrong. I just don't think it's good in any way. Like, why would I listen to this over literally any Baroque album I've ever heard in my entire life? Like the tweeness of it does not work for me at all. The kind of odd, cutesy sing song. The song that I thought was just like stilted and clunky was a good song, which is, the you take a song and you try and get it published and the blah blah blah, and it goes on forever, and it's just
It
if
doesn't
it's
go
just
on.
like
It doesn't go on forever. And there's not a single song on this record that's more than like 3 minutes. I
it
think the longest
feels
is
like it goes
360.
on forever. It's a poorly written song, and it's just a Kinks kind of rip off. So I don't know. It's just there's nothing. It's probably better than some 3.5 star albums from 1998, but like I would just never ever listen to this again.
I mean, I get that it's not as good as other things in this genre. I agree with that. But if you like that and you've heard all of those classics, this is something else that can kind of give you a new experience in that genre. And I'm all for that. I don't think everything you listen to has to be like the best of its genre.
No, but there's only so much time in the day to listen to Baroque pop music from the 1960s and early 1970s. I don't have time for Peter Dello and his poor singing voice and I don't know, twee lyrical style.
Well, I would cut out the entire decade of the 1980s before I cut out C-tier Baroque pop. So I guess that's where we differ.
Perhaps, perhaps.
All right. Let us know if you heard this record, what you think of it. Go check it out if you haven't, and come back and let us know. Drop it in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one.